I am glad you are here. Maybe the day has been long, or maybe you simply enjoy resting with calm thoughts and gentle stories. Wherever you are, allow yourself to slow down now. Take a soft breath in and let it move out of you slowly. Feel your shoulders lower just a little. Let your hands rest. Let your face soften. There is nothing you need to do. There is nowhere you need to go. This moment is quiet and it is yours. As the room grows still, notice the air around you. It feels calm and kind. Each breath becomes easier than the last. The noise of the day begins to fade, like distant sounds drifting away into the night. Your body grows lighter, as if the weight you carried earlier is gently being set down. You are safe here, held by the calm of the dark. Tonight, we drift into the quiet world of forensics, where hidden details rest patiently, and gentle facts unfold softly in the hush of night. This is not a world of rush or noise. It is a world of careful looking, of slow thinking, and of listening to what silence has to say. Forensics is not loud. It does not hurry. It waits. It notices. It respects the small things. Picture a quiet room lit by a warm, low light. Dust floats softly in the air, moving slowly, almost like it is breathing with you. On a table nearby, simple tools rest without motion. Nothing feels sharp or tense. Everything feels calm and thoughtful. This is the feeling of forensic science. At rest, waiting for gentle attention. Forensics is the art of understanding what remains when everything else has moved on. It is about the soft marks left behind by time, by touch, by motion, a faint line on a surface, a tiny fiber resting where it landed, a shape formed by chance and gravity. These details are small, yet they hold quiet meaning. They do not shout, they whisper as you breathe. Imagine walking slowly through an empty space. Your steps are light. The floor does not echo. The walls hold stillness like a blanket. In this space, every detail matters, but nothing feels urgent. Forensics works in this same way. It moves gently through moments that have already passed, never rushing, never forcing answers. It allows the truth to arrive in its own time. This world asks for patience. It asks for kindness toward the past. It asks the observer to slow down enough to notice what is already there. Forensic science does not create stories. It listens to the quiet ones that already exist. It reads the calm language of shape, pattern, and position. It learns from what time has left behind. You may notice your breathing becoming slower now. Each breath feels deeper, softer. The body understands this pace. The mind begins to follow. Thoughts that felt busy before start to drift, like clouds moving across a dark sky. You do not need to hold on to them. Let them pass. Forensics is often seen as serious, but at its heart, it is gentle. It treats every detail with care. It respects the stillness of objects and spaces. It understands that even silence has a voice. Tonight, we will listen to that voice together, calmly and quietly. As we move forward, there will be no rush to learn everything at once. Facts will arrive slowly, one by one, like soft footsteps in the dark. Each idea will settle gently, without pressure. You do not need to remember anything. You only need to rest and listen, allowing the story to flow around you. Asterisk. Imagine moonlight touching the edges of the world. It does not brighten everything. it simply reveals enough. This is how forensic knowledge works as well. It does not flood the mind. It softly illuminates what is already there, allowing understanding to grow without strain. If at any moment you feel yourself drifting, that is perfectly fine. This story is meant to be a place of rest. Whether you stay awake or fall asleep, the calm remains. The gentle rhythm of words continues, steady and warm, like a quiet presence beside you. Now, as the night deepens, let yourself settle even more. Feel the surface beneath you supporting your body. Feel the slow rise and fall of your breath. The world of forensics waits patiently ahead, full of quiet wonders and soft truths. There is no need to hurry. The night is long, and the story will unfold gently, one peaceful moment at a time. The space before us feels ordinary and quiet. A room rests in still air. Light moves softly across the floor. Nothing seems to be happening, and that is exactly where forensics begins. Not with motion, not with sound, but with calm attention. The kind of attention that slows the breath and softens the eyes, allowing the smallest details to come gently into view. In this quiet way, forensic science learns to notice what others might pass by. A faint mark near a door, a tiny shift in how an object rests, the soft bend of fabric where someone once sat. These details are not loud. They do not ask to be seen. They wait patiently, trusting that someone will look carefully enough to find them. Imagine standing in a familiar place, like a kitchen late at night. The counters are clean. Chairs are pushed in. Everything feels calm. Yet even here, small signs remain. A smudge on glass, a crumb near the edge of the table, a gentle curve in a rug where footsteps once crossed. Forensics does not judge these things. It simply notices them with care and respect. This kind of noticing takes time. It asks the mind to slow down. It asks the eyes to soften their focus. When we rush, we see only the large shapes. When we slow, the world opens into fine detail. Forensic science lives in this slower pace, where patience becomes a tool as important as any instrument. As you listen, feel your own body settling into that same rhythm. Each breath grows quieter, each pause becomes longer. In this calm state, it becomes easier to understand how small things speak. A quiet space holds memory, not in words, but in position and texture and pattern. The floor remembers pressure, surfaces remember touch, air remembers movement, if only for a moment. Forensics listens to these memories without forcing them to speak. It does not rush to answers. It does not interrupt the silence. Instead, it stays present, allowing meaning to rise naturally. This is why stillness matters so much. In stillness, nothing is hidden by noise. The smallest signs can finally be seen. Picture a pair of calm eyes moving slowly across a room. They do not jump from place to place. They glide, they rest, they return. Each detail is given time. This is how forensic work unfolds, one gentle observation at a time. Noticing becomes a form of care, a way of honoring what remains. Small things often feel unimportant in daily life. We step over them, we wipe them away, we forget them. Forensics teaches a different way of seeing. It reminds us that even the tiniest detail can hold meaning. A single thread, a light scratch, a subtle change in color. Each one carries a quiet story. As the night deepens. Imagine these small details glowing softly, not brightly, but enough to be seen. They do not demand attention. They simply exist. Forensic science meets them where they are, without hurry, without pressure. It understands that truth does not like to be chased. It prefers to be noticed. This calm art of noticing is not only for science. It is something the body understands as well. When you slow your breath, you notice how the air feels cooler as it enters, warmer as it leaves. When you relax your muscles, you notice how much effort they were holding. Small awareness brings gentle relief. Forensics mirrors this process. It relaxes into observation. It lets the environment speak first. It trusts that meaning will arrive when the time is right. Nothing needs to be forced. Nothing needs to be added. Everything needed is already present, waiting quietly. As we move forward in this story, this way of seeing will stay with us. The calm attention, the patience, the respect for small things, they will guide us gently through the world of forensics, step by slow step, breath by quiet breath. Now let the room around you feel even softer. Let the edges blur slightly. Let the details rest. The art of noticing small things continues quietly and peacefully as the night holds us in its calm embrace, soft. Moonlight rests gently on the ground, touching the earth without sound. The space feels open and calm, as if the night itself is watching quietly. On the surface below, faint footprints lie still. They are not sharp, they are not bold, they do not ask for attention. They simply remain, peaceful impressions of a moment that has already passed. Footprints are one of the quietest forms of memory. They are shaped by weight, by balance, by motion, and by time. When someone walks across the ground, the earth listens. It receives the step, holds it for a while, and then slowly begins to let it fade. Forensics learns to notice these gentle marks before they disappear, not with urgency, but with care. Imagine standing near these footprints now. The night air feels cool. Everything is still. The marks seem almost shy, blending into the surface. Yet, if you look softly, without strain, they begin to speak in their own quiet way, not in words, but in shape and direction. A heel presses deeper than a toe. One step sits closer to the next. A path begins to form. Footprints can show which way someone moved simply by how the shapes point. They can show how fast someone was going by the distance between each step. A slow walk leaves prints close together. A quicker pace stretches them apart. Nothing about this is loud. It is calm and natural, like reading the rhythm of breathing from a sleeping chest. Asterisk weight also leaves a gentle signature. A heavier step presses deeper into soft ground. A lighter step barely touches the surface. Sometimes one foot leaves a stronger mark than the other, showing a shift in balance or a tired leg. These details are not judgments. They are observations, noticed quietly, without emotion. Forensics does not rush toward these marks. It approaches them slowly, respecting their fragility. A footprint can be lost with one careless movement, one sudden step. That is why patience matters so much. The observer slows down, breath steady, body still, allowing the ground to remain undisturbed. Picture the ground as a soft listener. It remembers not because it tries to, but because it cannot help it. Pressure meets surface. Shape forms naturally. Time pauses for a moment. Then the world continues on. Forensics arrives in that pause, gently, like a whisper joining another whisper. Different surfaces hold footprints in different ways. Soft soil receives them easily, cradling each curve. Sand shapes itself around the foot, smooth and calm. Snow captures impressions like a quiet photograph, delicate and brief. Hard ground holds less, but even there, small signs can appear if the light is right and the eye is patient. The night helps with this noticing. Moonlight does not flatten shapes the way bright light does. It creates soft shadows, gentle edges. A shallow footprint becomes visible when shadow rests along its curve. Forensic science often uses this quiet play of light and shadow, not to reveal everything, but to reveal just enough as you listen. Feel how this slow attention mirrors your own rest. Your body leaves impressions too, on the surface beneath you. The weight of your head, the curve of your shoulders, the gentle press of your hands. You are leaving marks of your own calm and temporary, held quietly by the space around you. Footprints do not tell full stories. They do not explain reasons or feelings. They do not speak of thoughts. They only share movement, where someone came from, where they were going, how they moved through a moment in time. Forensics respects these limits. It listens only to what is offered, nothing more. Sometimes footprints overlap. One step crosses another. Paths meet and separate. These intersections are noticed gently, like quiet conversations between moments. Nothing is forced into meaning. The shapes are allowed to remain what they are, simple traces of motion. As the night continues, imagine these footprints slowly fading. Wind smooths the surface. Dew softens the edges. Time continues its work. This is why forensic science moves with calm care. It understands that these whispers will not last forever. They must be noticed with kindness before they are gone. Let your breathing stay slow as this thought settles. Everything leaves a trace, even if only for a short while, and everything eventually returns to stillness. Footprints are part of that gentle cycle. They appear, they rest, they fade. Now the ground grows quiet again. Moonlight shifts, shadows soften. The whispers of footsteps settle back into silence, and we move forward, slowly and peacefully, carrying this calm understanding with us into the deeper night. The camera drifts slowly across a hand resting in soft light. Fingertips glow gently, warmed by a quiet glow that feels calm and close. Each fingertip carries fine lines that curve and flow like tiny rivers. They move in loops and paths that never rush, never collide, never hurry. These lines are fingerprints, and they belong to every human without effort or thought. Fingerprints form long before memory begins. They grow quietly, shaped by gentle forces, and then they remain. They do not change with mood or age. They do not fade with time. They stay, calm and patient, like a signature written by nature itself. No two are the same, yet none feel loud or demanding. They simply exist. As you look at these soft patterns, notice how natural they feel. They are not sharp. They are not exact in a hard way. They are smooth, flowing, and organic. Each line bends slightly, responding to the shape beneath it. This is part of their quiet beauty. Fingerprints are personal, but they are also peaceful. Forensic science approaches fingerprints with respect. There is no rush to uncover them. The process is slow and gentle. Light is adjusted carefully. Surfaces are observed quietly. When a fingerprint appears, it feels less like a discovery and more like a soft introduction, a meeting between attention and patience. These patterns stay the same throughout a lifetime. A fingerprint made in childhood will still match one made many years later. Time passes, bodies grow and age, but these lines remain steady. This consistency allows investigators to understand identity without force, without pressure, and without sound. The fingerprint speaks softly, and that is enough. Imagine fingertips touching a cool surface, glass, wood, metal. Each touch leaves behind a faint impression, often unseen. These impressions do not try to stay. They are not meant to last yet. Sometimes they do, resting quietly until someone looks closely enough to notice. Forensics listens to these moments, not with excitement, but with calm care. The night feels perfect for this kind of work. Low light, still air, everything slowed down. Under these conditions, fingerprints reveal themselves gently. A curve here, a loop there, a pattern begins to emerge, not all at once, but slowly, as the eyes adjust and the mind settles. Fingerprints do not tell stories of action or motion. They speak of presence. They say, someone was here. Someone touched this. Someone existed in this space for a brief moment. That is all, and that is enough. Forensics never asks fingerprints to explain more than they can. It accepts their quiet truth as you breathe. Think of your own fingertips. You may feel them resting now, touching fabric or air. They carry the same flowing lines, even if you never notice them. These patterns connect you gently to everyone else while still remaining uniquely yours. This balance feels calm and grounding. Forensic investigators treat fingerprints as something personal. They handle them with care, knowing they represent a human presence. There is no loud reveal, no dramatic moment, just recognition, a quiet understanding, a gentle match that brings clarity without disturbance. Light plays an important role here. Soft light reveals raised edges and shallow curves. Shadows settle into grooves, helping the eye follow each path. Forensics often works with this gentle light, allowing fingerprints to appear naturally rather than forcing them into view. The process mirrors the calm rhythm of breathing. As time moves on, fingerprints may fade from surfaces, oils dry, dust shifts, air moves. This is part of the natural cycle. Forensic science accepts this impermanence. It knows that nothing lasts forever. What matters is the patience to notice what remains before it disappears. The quiet strength of fingerprints lies in their simplicity. No words, no sound, no movement, just lines flowing endlessly, telling a calm truth about identity. They do not argue. They do not convince. They simply are. Now let your awareness soften again. Feel your hands resting comfortably. Let the image of flowing lines drift gently through your mind. Fingerprints, like gentle signatures, settle back into the background of the night. And with this calm understanding, we continue forward, slowly and peacefully, into the deeper stillness ahead. The camera drifts slowly over a resting hand, as if it does not want to disturb it. The light is warm and quiet, touching the fingertips. With care, each finger holds soft lines that flow like tiny rivers, moving gently, never rushing, never stopping. These lines feel alive, yet calm. They are fingerprints, and they have been with us since before we can remember. There is something deeply human about fingerprints. They are small, easy to overlook, yet they belong only to one person. No effort is needed to carry them. No choice is involved. They simply arrive with us, quietly, and stay for life. In their curves and loops, there is a quiet comfort, like knowing a part of you has always been steady, even when everything else changed. As the camera lingers, the lines seem almost tender. Each bend feels like a soft breath. Each loop feels like a pause. Fingerprints are not sharp or strict. They are gentle, flowing, and forgiving. They remind us that identity does not need to be loud to be real. Sometimes the most personal things are also the quietest. Forensic science approaches fingerprints with a kind of respect that feels almost emotional. There is no rush, no sudden movement. Hands are steady. Light is adjusted slowly. When a fingerprint begins to appear on a surface, it feels like a moment of quiet recognition, as if the past is softly saying, "I was here." These patterns do not change as the years pass. Childhood turns into adulthood. Faces age, voices deepen or soften, yet fingerprints remain the same. There is something comforting in that. In a world where everything moves and shifts, these small lines stay constant. For investigators, this consistency brings calm certainty. For the listener, it brings a gentle sense of stability. Imagine someone touching a glass long ago, without thinking, without meaning to leave anything behind, just a simple touch. Later, in silence, that touch remains. It waits patiently, unseen, holding the warmth of a human moment. When forensics notices it, the moment is not taken, it is honored. Fingerprints speak without sound. They do not explain feelings or intentions. They do not carry fear or excitement. They simply say, "A person was here." That quiet truth carries emotion on its own. It reminds us that every space we pass through holds traces of human life, even after we are gone. The night feels especially suited to this kind of listening. Darkness softens everything. It allows attention to deepen. In this calm setting, fingerprints feel less like evidence and more like echoes, soft reminders of touch, presence, and connection. As you listen, you may become aware of your own fingertips. Perhaps they rest gently where you are now. Perhaps they touch fabric, skin, or air. Those same flowing lines are there, steady and unchanged. They have been with you through every moment of your life, quietly witnessing your journey. Forensic investigators understand the sensitivity of this work. They know that a fingerprint represents more than a pattern. It represents a person, a life, a moment of contact. This understanding brings care into every movement. Nothing is forced, nothing is rushed. The process feels slow, thoughtful, and deeply human. Light moves softly across the surface where a fingerprint rests. Shadows settle into the grooves, revealing each curve with patience. The fingerprint does not appear all at once. It arrives slowly, like a memory returning gently, piece by piece. There is no drama in this moment, only quiet clarity. Fingerprints do not last forever. Over time, they fade. Oils dry. Surfaces are cleaned. Air and movement erase them. This impermanence adds to their emotional weight. Forensics knows that what it sees now may soon be gone. that knowledge brings a careful tenderness to the work. In their silence, fingerprints hold a kind of intimacy. They are small, close, and personal. They remind us that identity can be carried in the simplest form: a touch, a line, a gentle curve. Now, as the image softens and the camera pulls away, let that feeling remain: a quiet sense of presence, a calm awareness of connection. Fingerprints, like gentle signatures, fade back into the stillness of the night, leaving behind a soft understanding that lingers, warm and reassuring. As we drift onward, the air feels calm and almost motionless. In this quiet space, tiny fibers rest gently on clothing, on the edge of a chair, along the soft surface of the floor. They are so small that they seem easy to miss, yet they are everywhere. Light moves slowly through the room, and in that light, a few fibers drift, floating as if they are barely touching the world at all. These fibers feel delicate, almost fragile. They do not weigh much. They do not press down or leave marks. They simply travel, carried by air, by touch, by quiet movement. A sleeve brushes against a sofa. A coat rests on a chair. A body passes through a room. And without anyone noticing, fibers move along with them, calm and silent. There is something emotional about how gentle this process is. No effort, no intention, just contact, followed by release. Fibers leave one place and arrive at another, not because they choose to, but because the world is always softly connected. Forensic science listens to these connections with patience and care, knowing that even the smallest movement can leave a trace. Imagine sitting in a quiet room, wrapped in soft fabric. Your breathing is slow. With every small shift, tiny fibers loosen and drift away. They float for a moment, suspended in still air, before settling somewhere nearby. This happens all the time, unnoticed, like a quiet exchange between people and places. Fibers carry memory in a gentle way, not memory of thoughts or feelings, but memory of closeness. They show that two surfaces met, that two spaces shared a moment. A fiber from one fabric resting on another tells a quiet story of contact, of nearness, of time briefly shared. Forensics approaches fibers slowly, almost tenderly. There is no rush to collect them, no sudden movement. Everything is done with care, because these traces are light and easily lost. A single breath of air can move them. A careless step erase them. This fragility invites calm, attention, and respect. The night suits this work perfectly. In still air, fibers seem to glow softly when light passes through them. They appear and disappear like tiny stars drifting close to the ground. Each one is small, yet together they form a gentle map of movement and presence. There is emotion in knowing how easily fibers travel. It reminds us that we are never fully separate from the spaces we move through. We leave parts of ourselves behind without knowing, and we carry parts of other places with us as well. This exchange is quiet and constant, happening beneath awareness. Forensic science does not see fibers as cold evidence. It sees them as soft messengers. They do not accuse. They do not explain. They simply show that contact happened, that two paths crossed, that something touched something else. Even for a brief moment, as you listen, you may feel the fabric against your skin right now. Perhaps a blanket, a pillow, or clothing resting gently on your body. Fibers from these materials are close to you, moving slightly as you breathe. They are calm companions in the dark, sharing the same stillness. When fibers are examined, they are not forced to speak. They are observed quietly. Their color, their texture, their shape are noted with patience. Each detail is handled with care, knowing how easily it can fade. The process feels almost like listening to a whisper in a quiet room. There is something deeply human about this kind of attention. It asks the observer to slow down, to respect what is small, to understand that meaning does not always arrive loudly. Sometimes it drifts in, softly, carried on still air. Fibers remind us that movement does not need to be dramatic to matter. A gentle brush, a quiet moment of closeness, a shared space. These are enough to leave traces behind. Forensics understands this and works within that softness, never pushing beyond what the fibers are willing to offer. As time passes, fibers too will disappear. They fall away, they break down, they return to the background of the world. This passing adds to their emotional weight. What is seen now may not be there tomorrow. That knowledge brings care, patience, and humility. Now, let the image fade slightly. The fibers settle. The air grows still again. Everything returns to quiet balance. These tiny threads have shared their silent clues, and then they rest once more, held gently by the night. As we move forward, this feeling of soft connection stays with us, warm and calm, drifting slowly deeper into rest. The light arrives first, gentle and patient. It slips through the quiet space and touches the ground where small pieces of glass rest peacefully. Nothing feels sharp or sudden here. The fragments lie still, reflecting soft glimmers that move slowly as the light shifts. Each piece feels calm, as if it has already settled into rest. Glass has a quiet way of holding memory. It does not think, it does not feel, it does not judge. Yet when it breaks, it remembers the moment in its own silent language. The shapes it forms, the directions it travels, the way it comes to rest, all carry a calm record of what once happened. Imagine standing nearby, breathing slowly, careful not to disturb the space. The glass pieces are scattered gently across the ground. Some are close together, some have traveled a little farther. None of them are rushed, none of them are tense. They simply are where they landed, resting after motion has ended. Forensics approaches glass with the same calm respect. There is no urgency in the observation, no need to rush toward answers. The glass is allowed to speak in its own time through its quiet patterns. These patterns are not messages shouted across a room. They are whispers meant to be noticed slowly. When glass breaks, it does so in a natural way. Lines form, cracks spread outward, pieces separate and fall. This happens without thought or intention. The glass responds only to force and direction, creating shapes that are honest and simple. Forensic science listens to these shapes, understanding that they follow gentle rules. Light plays an important role here. Soft light reveals edges and curves without glare. Shadows rest between fragments, helping the eye see depth and distance. Under this kind of light, the glass feels almost peaceful, like a frozen moment held in place. Imagine rain falling on stone. Each drop lands where gravity guides it. Some drops fall straight down. Some slide gently along the surface. Over time, Faint marks appear, lines form, spots gather. No single drop tells a story on its own, but together they create a calm record of motion and direction. Blood patterns follow this same quiet logic. Forensics does not see these patterns as something loud or shocking. It sees them as part of natural movement, no different in principle from rain, from spilled water, from shadows shifting across the ground. The focus is never on what caused the movement, but on how the movement happened. Shape, distance, and flow are all that matter. The visuals stay soft. No sharp edges, no close detail, only gentle forms, resting where motion has ended. The observer does not rush toward meaning. Instead, they allow the pattern to be what it is, a result of gravity pulling downward, of motion moving through space, of stillness arriving afterward. Blood moves the way all liquids do. It follows paths of least resistance. It responds to surfaces, angles, and speed. When something moves slowly, patterns gather closely. When motion is faster, shapes stretch farther apart. This is not drama. This is physics, unfolding quietly. Forensic science reads these patterns with the same calm one might use to study watermarks on a window after rain. Nothing is forced. Nothing is imagined. The shapes are allowed to speak for themselves. A drop here, a trail there, a space left untouched. Each part adds to understanding without raising its voice. There is deep respect in this process. Forensics understands that these patterns are sensitive. They are handled gently, both in thought and in observation. The goal is not to disturb, but to understand, not to relive, but to learn quietly from what remains. As the narrator speaks, the imagery stays distant and peaceful. Shapes blur slightly. At the edges, light fades and returns softly. Everything feels slowed down, as if time itself has softened. This pace allows the listener to remain calm, breathing steadily, feeling safe. Patterns also show distance, how far something traveled before coming to rest, how motion changed as time passed. These details are noticed patiently. The observer may pause, often letting the eyes rest, letting understanding arrive naturally rather than being pulled forward. There is emotion here, but it is quiet and human. The emotion comes from care, from the awareness that every pattern represents a moment that has already ended. Forensics does not try to change that moment. It simply honors what remains by looking carefully and gently. Think again of rain on stone. Once the rain stops, the marks slowly dry, edges soften, shapes fade. Time continues its work. Blood patterns are no different. They are temporary. They will not last forever. This knowledge brings a sense of tenderness to the work. What is seen now may soon be gone. The way glass breaks can show where pressure came from. A point of impact leaves patterns that spread outward like ripples on water. The direction of those ripples tells a quiet story of movement. Nothing dramatic, nothing loud, just a calm record of motion meeting material. Some pieces of glass fall straight down, staying close to where they began. Others travel gently through the air before resting farther away. This difference matters, but it is never rushed. Forensics notes these distances patiently, understanding that even small variations hold meaning. There is something emotionally grounding about this process. Glass does not carry fear or intent. It does not exaggerate. It does not hide. It simply reacts and then rests. In this way, it feels honest and steady, offering clarity without drama as you listen. Imagine the sound glass might make if it moved. Not a crash, just a soft, settling sound, like tiny bells fading into silence. That sound is already gone now. What remains is stillness, and within that stillness, memory. Forensic science does not try to recreate the moment forcefully. It does not replay events with intensity. It looks gently at what remains and allows understanding to form naturally. This calm approach keeps the space peaceful, even when the subject feels serious. Glass fragments can also show timing. If glass breaks before something else happens, the pieces will rest in one way. If it breaks after, they may rest differently. These details are subtle and require quiet focus. The observer slows down enough to notice what others might miss. There is patience in this work. Glass will not change its position once it has settled. It will wait as long as needed. This waiting creates a feeling of calm certainty. Nothing is trying to escape. Nothing is being hidden. Everything is already present. As the night deepens, the glass seems to glow a little less. Light dims, reflections soften. The fragments begin to blend into the ground again, becoming part of the larger stillness. Their moment has been shared, gently and without disturbance. This section of the story reminds us that even sudden events leave behind calm records, that motion always returns to rest, that material remembers in its own quiet way. Glass does not hold emotion, yet it carries truth without effort. Now let your breathing stay slow and even. Let the image of soft reflections settle in your mind. The glass has finished speaking. It rests again, peaceful and still, holding its memory quietly. As we move forward, deeper into the calm of the night, the space grows even quieter now. The light becomes softer, less direct, as if it understands the need for care. What we see is not detail, not sharpness, not anything meant to disturb. Instead, the visuals remain abstract, gentle shapes, soft motion, calm distance. Everything is handled with respect, allowing the mind to stay at ease. In forensics, patterns form naturally. They are not created by intention. They are shaped by simple forces that exist everywhere, quietly and steadily. Movement, gravity, time. These forces work together without emotion, without judgment. They leave behind shapes that can be read slowly and calmly when the observer is patient enough to listen. Now the room rests again, wrapped in stillness. Time has left its subtle marks and then moved on. We carry this calm sense of time with us, unmeasured and unhurried, as we drift quietly forward into the next soft topic of the night. A warm light slowly fills the space, soft and steady, never bright. Glass tools rest on smooth surfaces, clear and still. Simple containers hold transparent liquids that reflect a gentle glow. The laboratory feels quiet, almost peaceful, as if it exists outside of time. Nothing moves quickly here. Nothing needs to. Chemistry in forensics works with patience. It does not rush toward answers. It waits calmly for the right moment, for the careful touch, for the quiet question. Reactions happen when conditions are ready, not before. This waiting gives the space a sense of calm, trust. Imagine a clear drop of liquid resting at the edge of glass. It does not hurry to fall. It clings softly, held by balance and surface tension. When it finally moves, it does so gently, without sound. This is how chemical reactions feel in this setting. Slow, controlled, peaceful. Forensic chemistry reveals what is hidden, not by force, but by cooperation. Substances respond naturally when introduced to the right environment. Colors may shift slightly, clarity may change. Something invisible becomes visible, quietly and without drama. There is something emotional in this patience. Chemistry does not demand attention. It does not rush to prove anything. It simply waits, trusting that the right conditions will allow truth to appear. This patience brings a sense of safety and steadiness to the work. The warm glow of the lights softens the glass around them. Reflections move slowly as the observer shifts position. The space feels calm enough to breathe deeply in. Each breath matches the slow rhythm of the room. Chemistry listens to nature's rules. Every reaction follows gentle patterns that never shout. A change in color is not sudden, it fades in. A reaction does not explode into view, it unfolds. Forensics watches these changes quietly, allowing them to complete in their own time. There is respect here, both for the materials and for what they represent. The scientist does not push or rush. Hands move slowly. Movements are careful and thoughtful. Every step is measured, not in speed, but in intention. Think of chemistry as a quiet conversation between substances. One asks softly, the other responds in its own way. There is no argument, no urgency, just a calm exchange that reveals what was already there, waiting. As you listen, you may feel your own body responding to this gentle pace. Your breath slows, your thoughts soften. The idea that answers can arrive without pressure feels comforting. Chemistry reminds us that not everything needs to be chased. Some things appear when we are patient enough to wait. Even the tools themselves feel calm. Glass does not rush. Liquids settle. Surfaces reflect light without movement. Everything seems aligned toward stillness and clarity. Forensic chemistry often works with tiny amounts. A small sample, a faint trace, even these are treated with care. The smallest reaction can bring understanding, not because it is dramatic, but because it is honest. There is quiet beauty in watching a reaction complete. No sound, no spectacle, just a gentle change that tells its truth and then rests. The scientist observes, notes, and allows the moment to pass without interruption. This calm role of chemistry mirrors the night around us. Darkness does not rush to arrive. Light fades gradually. The world shifts without announcement. In the same way, chemistry reveals its answers softly, never breaking the peaceful flow. Now, let the warm light dim slightly. The glass rests again. Liquids settle into stillness. Chemistry has spoken in its quiet way and returned to rest. Take a slow breath. Feel the calm that comes from patience, from knowing that some answers appear only when we give them time. With this gentle understanding, we move forward together, deeper into the night, carrying the quiet trust that chemistry offers so freely. The light grows softer here, almost golden, as if filtered through layers of time. Shapes rest quietly in stillness. Nothing feels hurried. Nothing feels heavy. Bones appear not as something to fear, but as calm structures shaped by life and patience. They lie peacefully, holding their form long after movement has ended. Bones are quiet storytellers. They do not speak of moments or feelings. They speak of time, of growth, of slow change. They carry the memory of a life not through words, but through shape and structure. Their curves and lengths form naturally, guided by years of living, standing, walking, resting. Forensics approaches bones with deep respect. There is no rush to understand them, no need to force meaning from them. The observer slows down, almost as if opening an old book whose pages are fragile and worn. Each page is turned gently. Each detail is given space. The shape of a bone can suggest age, not in exact numbers, but in calm stages. Some bones feel smooth and settled. Others show gentle signs of change that come with time. These signs are not sudden. They are the result of years passing quietly, doing their work without noise. Height, too, leaves its soft record. The length of long bones reflects how tall a person once stood. This understanding does not arrive sharply. It forms slowly, as measurements are taken with care. There is something grounding in this process, as if the body's history is being read with kindness. Bones also show how a person lived, not through emotion, but through subtle marks. A place where muscle once pulled again and again. A joint shaped by repeated movement. These details feel calm and steady, like worn paths in stone created by many gentle steps. Forensics does not imagine stories here. It does not fill gaps with guesswork. It reads only what is present. Like an old book, some pages may be missing, some words faded. That is accepted peacefully. What remains is enough to offer quiet understanding. Time is the true author of these stories. It shapes bones slowly, over years and decades. Growth leaves patterns, aging leaves others. The changes are gradual and honest. Forensics learns to recognize these patterns, not with excitement, but with patience as you listen. Imagine holding a very old book. The pages feel soft under your fingers. The writing is gentle and steady. You do not rush through it. You let each line settle before moving on. This is how bones are read. Calmly, respectfully, without hurry. There is no emotion placed onto the bones themselves. They do not feel joy or pain. They simply reflect what has been. This distance allows the observer to remain calm, grounded, and focused on understanding rather than reaction. Bones last longer than many other traces. While footprints fade and fibers drift away, bones remain. They rest quietly through time, holding their form when other details have returned to the world. This lasting nature gives them a steady presence in forensic work. Even so, bones are treated gently. They are not handled roughly. Each movement is slow and deliberate. There is an understanding that what lasts longest also deserves the most care. Small details matter here. The thickness of a bone, the curve of a joint, the way pieces fit together. None of these details are rushed. They are observed slowly, allowing patterns to appear naturally. Forensics understands that bones do not tell everything. They offer pieces of truth, not the whole picture. This limitation is accepted quietly. There is no frustration, only calm listening. The room remains quiet as this work continues. Light rests softly on surfaces. Shadows remain still. The world feels paused, held gently in a moment of reflection. As the narration flows, there is a sense of peace in knowing that even after movement ends, some truths remain. Bones carry those truths without judgment, without urgency, without voice. They remind us that time leaves its mark gently, that life shapes us slowly, that understanding does not need speed to be meaningful. Now let this image soften. Let the old book close gently. The stories within it remain settled and calm. Bones return to stillness. Having shared their gentle truths, take a slow breath. Feel the quiet stability of this understanding. We move forward together, carrying this calm respect for time and structure as the night continues to unfold softly. Around us, the camera drifts slowly through tall grass, moving as gently as a breath. Blades sway without sound, touching and separating again. The ground feels calm and patient, holding the quiet marks of time. Insects move softly through the air, their paths slow and unhurried. Nature does not rush. It never has. Nature works. In silence, it does not announce change. It allows change to arrive on its own. Forensic science learns from this silence, listening carefully to what nature leaves behind, not through noise or urgency, but through observation and respect. Seasons pass without effort. Light grows warmer, then cooler. Leaves appear, grow full, then slowly fall. Soil changes texture as moisture comes and goes. These shifts happen whether anyone is watching or not. Forensics pays attention to these gentle movements, understanding that time often reveals itself through nature's quiet rhythm. Grass bends. Where something once rested, over time, it slowly rises again. The speed of that return tells a soft story. If the grass is still pressed down, the moment was recent. If it has lifted itself back toward the light, more time has passed. This understanding arrives without numbers, without clocks, without force. Insects to move according to their own calm patterns. They arrive when conditions are right. They leave when those conditions change. Their presence or absence helps suggest what the environment was like at a certain moment. Warmth. Nothing about this is hurried. It is simply how nature flows. The camera moves onward, following a path through changing light. Morning feels cool and pale. Afternoon carries warmth. Evening softens everything into shadow. These transitions leave gentle signs behind. Forensic science notices them quietly, using them to understand the passage of time without ever demanding exact answers. Nature never gives precise moments. It gives ranges. It gives suggestions. It offers clues wrapped in patience. Forensics accepts this with calm humility. It does not ask nature to speak louder. It listens more closely. Instead, rain leaves its own gentle marks. Soil darkens, then dries. Surfaces carry faint traces of water before returning to their original state. The way these changes unfold helps suggest when rain fell and how long ago it passed. Again, nothing dramatic, just slow, honest movement. Wind shapes the environment. Quietly, it moves leaves, smooths edges, and carries small things from one place to another. Forensics watches how wind has worked, understanding that its touch can soften details over time. This understanding helps place events gently within a larger, natural flow. The ground itself holds memory. Moist soil feels different from dry soil. Compacted earth tells a different story than loose ground. These textures shift slowly, guided by weather and time. Forensic science notices these differences patiently. Knowing they speak softly but truthfully, plants respond to light and time in their own ways. Growth happens gradually. Wilting happens slowly. These changes do not hurry, they simply follow nature's pace. Forensics uses this calm progression to understand environment and timing, never forcing conclusions. As you listen, notice how peaceful this feels. Nature does not rush you either. It moves around you gently. Even now, your breathing follows a natural rhythm. Your body rests within the same quiet system that guides grass, insects, and seasons. There is comfort in knowing that nature keeps steady time without pressure. It does not panic. It does not hurry. It trusts its own rhythm. Forensic science learns from this trust, allowing understanding to form slowly rather than pushing for instant answers. The camera lingers on small details. A leaf partly turned, a trail through grass that has softened at the edges, a quiet patch of earth that feels undisturbed. Each detail adds to a gentle picture of what the environment has experienced. Nature also shows when something has been disturbed, a broken stem, a path that feels new, soil that has not yet settled. These signs are not loud. They do not accuse. They simply indicate that change occurred and that time has not yet fully smoothed it away. Forensics treats these signs with respect. It understands that nature will continue its work no matter what. Traces will fade, shapes will soften, time will move on. This knowledge brings calm, focus, rather than urgency. There is a quiet partnership. Here, nature does not hide. Forensics does not rush. Together, they allow understanding to emerge gently, like morning light filling a room. As seasons change, the environment shifts its language. Snow may hold impressions briefly before melting. Heat may dry surfaces quickly. Cold may preserve details longer. These differences are noted calmly, helping suggest not just time, but conditions. This understanding feels peaceful because it accepts uncertainty. Nature does not promise exact answers. Forensics does not demand them. Instead, it listens to what nature is willing to share. The camera pulls back slowly, showing the larger landscape. Grass moves softly. Insects continue their quiet paths. Light changes almost without notice. Everything feels connected, steady, and calm. Let this sense of patience settle within you. Nature does not rush toward conclusions. It unfolds gently, moment by moment. Forensic science follows this same rhythm, trusting the slow pace of natural processes. As the scene fades, the environment continues its quiet work. Grass grows, leaves fall, air shifts. Nature remains a silent helper, offering its calm guidance without noise or urgency. Take a slow breath. Feel how natural this pace feels. The night holds us gently as we move forward, carrying with us the quiet wisdom of nature, steady and unhurried, into the next peaceful topic. The darkness of the room remains calm and steady. Within it, a soft glow begins to appear, not bright, not sharp, just a gentle light resting on a screen, breathing quietly in the dark. The glow feels warm, almost comforting, like a small window left open during the night. Digital spaces are often imagined as fast and busy, but here they feel different, still patient, waiting. Devices sit quietly, holding information without asking to be noticed. They do not speak unless invited. They do not rush to explain. They simply remember. In forensic work, digital traces are another form of quiet evidence. They do not shout. They do not flash warnings. They rest calmly inside devices, stored in layers, waiting for careful attention. A screen remembers touches. A system remembers movement. Time passes, yet the memory stays. Imagine a phone resting on a table in a dark room. The screen is off now. No sound, no motion, yet inside, small moments remain. A message once opened, a location once visited, a button once pressed. These moments are not emotional. They are gentle records of action, held without judgment. Digital memory feels different from physical traces, yet it follows the same calm logic. Something happened. The device noticed. The device kept that notice quietly. Forensics approaches this memory with patience, knowing that sudden movement or careless handling can disturb what rests within. The glow of a screen reflects softly on nearby surfaces. Shadows remain smooth. Nothing feels tense. This is not a place of urgency. It is a place of careful listening. Digital forensics begins by letting systems remain still, allowing the stored moments to stay exactly where they are. Devices remember in their own quiet language, not words, not images, but signals and patterns, sequences that show order, timing that suggests flow. These traces do not explain why something happened. They only show that it did. That is enough. Forensic science does not force devices to speak quickly. It understands that rushing can change what is stored. Instead, it waits. It prepares carefully. It creates a calm space where information can be observed without disruption. Think of digital memory like footprints in soft light. They do not fade as quickly as marks on the ground, but they are still delicate. A system update, a restart, a careless action. Any of these can gently erase what once remained. This fragility invites respect and patience. The night feels especially suited to this work. Screens glow without distraction. The world outside feels distant. In this quiet, the smallest details become easier to notice. A timestamp, a sequence, a pause between actions. Each one carries calm, meaning. Digital traces often remain long after everything else has gone quiet. A room may be empty. Objects may be still. But devices continue to hold memory. They do not sleep. They do not forget easily. They simply wait. This waiting feels almost peaceful. There is no urgency to respond, no pressure to perform. The device does not mind how long it rests. It carries its stored moments steadily, unchanged by emotion or time passing. Forensic science treats these traces with care, understanding that they represent real moments of human activity. A message sent during a quiet evening, a search made without much thought, a photo viewed and then closed. These actions were small, ordinary, and human. The calm role of digital forensics is to notice these actions without judgment. It does not add meaning where there is none. It does not imagine intent. It simply observes what the device remembers and allows understanding to form gently as you listen. Notice the stillness around you. Perhaps there is a screen nearby, resting quietly. It holds its own small memories, even now. You do not need to think about them. They are simply there, like a calm presence in the room. Digital time feels different from natural time. It moves in precise steps, yet it is read gently. Forensics uses these steps not to rush, but to understand sequence. What came before, followed after, how moments flowed into one another. There is something grounding in this order. Even in a quiet world, actions leave traces. Even in stillness, systems remember. This knowledge feels steady, not alarming. It reminds us that nothing truly disappears all at once. Some parts remain, held softly by memory. The screen's glow slowly dims. Light fades, just enough to keep the space calm. The device rests again, having shared nothing loudly, yet offering much to those who know how to look quietly. Digital forensics does not disturb this rest more than necessary. It understands that stillness preserves clarity. The calmer the approach, the clearer the picture becomes. As the night deepens, the digital world continues its silent watch. Data rests, signals remain in place. Nothing moves unless invited. The quiet feels complete, whole and gentle. Take a slow breath. Let the soft glow fade from your mind. These digital traces remain, settled and calm, holding their quiet moments without sound or urgency. As the night continues to hold everything in steady, peaceful stillness, everything slows even further. Now, the space feels wider, quieter, as if time itself has taken a step back. The light is warm and low, resting gently on still surfaces. Nothing moves unless it needs to. The air feels calm, steady, and kind. Breathing becomes slow and even, guided by the silence around it. Forensics lives in this slow rhythm. It does not hurry. It does not race against time. It understands that speed often blurs what patience can reveal. In this world, moving slowly is not weakness. It is care. It is respect for the truth and for the quiet moments that hold it. A room where everything has settled. Objects are still. Shadows do not shift. The floor feels grounded and calm. In this space, rushing would feel wrong, almost disruptive. Forensics senses this and responds by slowing down even more. Every step is measured. Every pause is allowed to stretch as long as it needs to. Patience creates clarity. When the mind is calm, details become easier to see. When the body is relaxed, focus deepens naturally. Forensic science understands this deeply. It waits for understanding to arrive instead of chasing it. Truth in this setting is never forced. There is comfort in this approach. Nothing is demanded. Nothing is rushed into shape. The process feels gentle, almost caring. It honors the idea that important things deserve time, that understanding grows best in quiet conditions. Warm visuals fill the space now. Soft light touches familiar shapes. The scene feels steady, grounded, and safe. This warmth mirrors the way forensic science handles its work. Calm attention replaces urgency. Stillness replaces noise. Forensics knows that rushing often creates mistakes. Speed can disturb fragile details. It can scatter what was once clear. Patience protects these details, allowing them to remain exactly as they are. This protection is an act of respect. Asterisk long pauses are not empty here. They are full of attention. During these pauses, the observer breathes, looks, waits. The mind stays open. Nothing feels wasted. Each pause adds depth, allowing the environment to speak in its own time. Truth does not like pressure. When pushed, it hides. When given space, it settles gently into view. Forensics trusts this. It believes that truth will reveal itself when approached with care, not force. Think of how your own body responds to patience. When you are not rushed, your breathing slows, your thoughts soften, your awareness expands. Forensics moves in the same way, creating conditions where clarity feels natural rather than strained. This gentle pace allows even complex details to feel manageable. Nothing feels overwhelming. Everything arrives in small, calm pieces. The observer remains grounded, steady, and present. Forensic science is not impressed by speed. It values understanding more than quick answers. It knows that answers found too fast may not last. Answers found slowly tend to hold steady. The warmth of the scene deepens. The room feels wrapped in quiet care. This is where truth feels safe enough to appear. Not suddenly, not dramatically, but gradually, like light. Filling a room at dawn. Patience also brings humility. Forensics accepts that not everything will be known. Some details will remain unclear. Some questions will stay open. This acceptance feels calm, not frustrating. It allows the work to continue without tension. In this slow space, mistakes are less likely. The observer has time to notice small shifts, tiny differences, subtle patterns. These details often disappear when speed takes over. Patience preserves them. The idea settles gently. Forensic science is never rushed. It does not compete with time. It moves alongside it, matching its pace, slow, steady, unhurried, as the narration flows. Your own breathing may feel deeper now. The body understands this rhythm. It recognizes safety in slowness. The mind begins to rest more fully, trusting the pace. Warm light continues to rest on still surfaces. Shadows remain soft. Nothing demands attention. Everything feels balanced. This balance is what allows truth to remain clear. Forensics knows that truth does not need excitement. It does not need urgency. It needs care. It needs time. It needs quiet. As this section comes to rest, the feeling of patience lingers. The space remains warm and calm. The idea stays gentle but firm. When handled slowly and carefully, truth reveals itself in the most peaceful way. Let this understanding settle into you now. Slow breath, soft awareness, nothing to rush, nothing to force. Just calm presence, holding steady as the night continues in quiet stillness. The night feels settled now, as if it has fully wrapped itself around the world. Nothing presses forward, nothing pulls away. The space feels wide and calm, ready to hold many small ideas without strain. This is where the quiet facts of forensics come together, not as a list, not as separate pieces, but as a single, gentle story. Each fact on its own is small, almost weightless, easy to miss, a footprint that shows a pause instead of a rush, a fiber resting where two fabrics once met, a pattern shaped by gravity rather than intention. None of these details demand attention, yet together they form a soft melody, like notes in a lullaby, flowing slowly from one to the next. Forensics is built from these small truths, 100 gentle observations, each adding a little more clarity. No single fact carries the whole meaning. Understanding grows through patience, through layering, through allowing many quiet details to exist side by side. A fingerprint stays the same throughout a lifetime. That is one small fact. It tells us that identity can be steady even as everything else changes. Another fact rests nearby. Glass breaks honestly, responding only to force and direction. It does not exaggerate, it does not hide. It simply shows what happened and then becomes still. Time leaves subtle marks everywhere. That is another quiet truth. Warmth fades from a room, shadows stretch and then disappear. Dust settles slowly. None of these things announce themselves, yet each one helps suggest when moments passed. Forensics listens to these signs calmly, never asking them to be more exact than they can be. Liquids follow gravity. That simple rule explains many gentle patterns. Drops fall, trails form, shapes settle. This is not dramatic knowledge. It is peaceful understanding. Movement ends, and stillness returns, leaving behind calm records of how motion once flowed. Fibers travel without effort. They move through touch, air, and closeness. This fact reminds us that connection does not need intention. Spaces share themselves quietly. People carry pieces of places without knowing. Forensics notices these shared moments softly, respecting their fragility. Bones change slowly over time. Growth leaves its shape. Repeated movement leaves its mark. These truths do not rush. They arrive gently, like reading an old page and letting the meaning settle before turning to the next dot. Nature keeps time without counting it. Grass rises again after pressure. Insects appear and disappear with temperature and light. Rain darkens soil and then fades away. These natural processes offer quiet guidance, helping place moments within a wider rhythm. Digital devices remember actions calmly. They store sequences without emotion, a touch, a pause, a movement. Even when everything else feels still, these traces remain, holding moments without judgment. This is another small truth, steady and reliable. Patience protects clarity. Rushing disturbs fragile details. Slowness allows patterns to remain clear. This fact shapes the heart of forensic science. It teaches that truth prefers gentle handling, quiet attention, and time. None of these facts are surprising on their own. They do not shock, they do not demand reaction. Yet, when they come together, they form a complete picture, a calm understanding of how the world leaves traces, and how those traces can be read softly. Imagine these facts as lights glowing faintly in the dark. Each one shines just enough to be seen. Together, they illuminate the space without ever becoming bright. The scene remains peaceful, warm, and steady. Forensics does not collect facts to impress. It gathers them to understand. Each observation is treated with the same care, whether it feels large or small. Nothing is dismissed. Nothing is exaggerated. Everything has a place. As the story continues, these small truths begin to blend. A footprint aligns with a fiber. A pattern fits with a moment of time. A digital trace rests beside a natural process. Understanding grows not from force, but from harmony. This harmony feels calming. There is no rush to connect everything at once. The listener senses how meaning forms gradually, like a picture appearing slowly as light increases. Nothing jumps into focus suddenly. Everything arrives gently. The beauty of forensic science lives in this softness. It respects the quiet nature of reality. It understands that the world speaks in small signs, not loud declarations. Listening carefully becomes the most important skill. As you rest with these ideas, your breathing may feel slow and even. The mind does not need to hold each fact clearly. It is enough to feel the overall flow. The sense that many small details can come together peacefully. Understanding does not need excitement to be meaningful. It does not need shock to feel real. Sometimes the calmest stories are the ones that stay with us longest. The 100 small facts of forensics do not shout their presence. They hum softly, blending into a single calm song. A song about time, movement, connection, and patience. A song that does not disturb rest, but supports it. Now let this gentle melody continue quietly in the background. Let the individual notes blur together into a soft, steady feeling. The story does not end here. It simply settles, held by stillness and warmth, ready to rest alongside you as the night remains calm and kind. The camera moves slowly through an empty room. Nothing appears to be happening. Furniture rests where it has always been. Walls hold their silence. The air feels settled, as if it has been still for a long time. Yet, even in this quiet, the room is not empty of meaning. Forensics understands that rooms remember. Not with thoughts or feelings, but with arrangement, balance, and absence. A chair, slightly turned, a space left open, an object resting where it was last placed. These details feel small, yet they quietly describe how a room was once used. Still rooms carry a kind of calm honesty. They do not perform, they do not hide, they simply remain as they are, allowing careful eyes to notice what has changed and what has stayed the same. Forensic science listens to this silence patiently. Light moves slowly across the room as time passes. It touches surfaces differently depending on the hour. Dust settles in patterns that suggest how long the space has been undisturbed. These changes are gentle, almost tender, and they help suggest when motion lasts passed through. The absence of movement is also meaningful. A room untouched for a long time feels different from one recently quieted. Stillness deepens. The air feels heavier, calmer. Forensics senses this difference without rushing to name it. Every room holds a rhythm. When that rhythm is interrupted, traces remain. A door left slightly open, a window closed at an unusual angle. These details are not dramatic. They are soft signs that something once shifted. Forensics does not rush through these spaces. It slows down even more. It allows the room to speak in its own way through balance and placement. The quiet becomes a guide rather than an obstacle. As you listen, imagine the room you are in now, how still it feels, how familiar. Even here, small details show how the space supports rest. Rooms and bodies share this calm language, understanding. Rooms requires gentleness. The calmer the observer, the clearer the space becomes. Forensics knows this and moves with care, preserving stillness rather than disturbing it. The room does not answer questions. It offers impressions. These impressions, when gathered patiently, form a soft understanding of what once happened here. Now the camera rests. The room remains quiet. Nothing more is needed. The stillness has spoken, and it returns to rest. Silence settles deeper now. Not an empty silence, but a full one. The kind that feels warm rather than cold. This is the silence that connects every part of forensic science, holding all the quiet facts together without pressure. Forensics depends on silence. Without it, small details disappear. Noise distracts. Speed overwhelms. Silence creates space for truth to remain clear and undisturbed. In silence, attention deepens. The observer becomes part of the environment rather than separate from it. Breathing slows, movements soften. The mind stops reaching and begins receiving. This silence is not uncomfortable. It is supportive. It allows fragile traces to stay intact. It protects patterns, impressions, and subtle changes that might otherwise fade. Think of silence as a soft container. Inside it, footprints rest, fibers remain, patterns stay visible. Time reveals itself gently. Nothing is pushed beyond what it can offer. Forensic science respects this silence deeply. It does not fill it with assumptions. It does not rush to explain it away. It allows silence to remain present, knowing that meaning often appears there. First, even digital spaces have their own silence. Systems waiting, data resting, nothing moving until invited. This stillness keeps memory intact. Silence also protects emotion. By staying calm and quiet, forensics avoids disturbance. It does not turn moments into spectacle. It keeps understanding gentle and human. As the night deepens, this silence feels familiar. It matches the stillness of rest, the quiet of sleep approaching. The body recognizes this space and relaxes into it. Everything forensic science learns arrives through silence, observation, patience, respect. These qualities do not speak loudly. They work best when nothing interrupts them. Silence allows truth to stay simple. It removes urgency. It removes pressure. It allows facts to remain facts without being forced into something louder. Now, let this silence settle around you. It does not demand attention. It simply holds everything safely, steadily, gently. This silence will carry us into the final chapter, where everything begins to soften even more. The light begins to dim now. Slowly and kindly, edges soften. Shapes lose their sharpness and blend into the dark. The world we have been visiting grows quieter, as if it knows its work is done. Nothing is taken away suddenly. Everything fades at its own gentle pace. The voice slows, resting between words. Breathing becomes deeper, steadier. The body feels heavier in the most comforting way, supported and safe. There is no more effort needed, no more listening required. Just a soft presence, staying with you as the night deepens. The world of forensics rests now. It's careful looking, it's patient waiting, it's quiet respect, all begin to settle into stillness. Footprints have faded back into the ground. Fibers have settled into fabric and air. Patterns have softened. Rooms have returned to silence. What remains is calm understanding, not sharp facts, not heavy thoughts, just a feeling of gentle order, a sense that the world leaves traces, and that those traces can be read softly, without fear, without rush. The night feels wide and open. Darkness is no longer empty. It is full and protective. The soft glow of awareness begins to fade, like a light turned low, but not off. Everything is quiet enough now to rest. Your breathing guides the moment, in and out, slow and easy. With each breath, the body sinks a little deeper. Muscles release what they were holding. The face softens, the jaw loosens. The space behind the eyes grows calm and dark. The story has finished speaking, but it stays nearby, gentle and warm. The calm knowledge it shared does not press for attention. It simply rests, like a blanket laid softly over the mind. Nothing needs to be remembered. Nothing needs to be understood further. The night will hold whatever remains. Understanding can sleep too. Shadows blend into one another. Light fades completely. The sense of movement disappears, replaced by quiet presence. Time feels unimportant. Now, the pace is slow enough to disappear. As everything grows quiet, let the story of forensics settle into your breath and drift with you into sleep. Let each inhale feel calm. Let each exhale feel releasing. The body knows how to rest. The mind knows how to follow. There is no need to stay awake. There is no need to listen closely anymore. The words are gentle enough to fade on their own. The night remains still, warm, safe. Let the last quiet breath of this story stay with you. May sleep come gently. Good night.